Imagine it's a summer morning in a small American town. The air smells like cut grass and coffee brewing somewhere behind the counter. You don't just pass by people, you're seen by them. And the strangest thing is this: you could lose something far more valuable than money.
You could lose your reputation, not in some vague modern brand way, in the old sense, where a good name was treated like a personal asset, something heavy and real. In many small towns, a man's reputation sat at the center of daily life. Banks might trust your signature, but your neighbors trusted your character.
You could sell a piece of land and recover. You could borrow and pay back. You could even make it through a business slump. But once people stopped believing in you, getting that belief back could feel impossible. And the scary part? It often didn't take a big scandal to do it. A good reputation might take 20 years to earn, but a single afternoon, one careless decision, one loud lie, one broken promise could wreck it. So if you want to understand what that older America was really protecting, you have to look at the little rules people expected you to follow. Not because they were obsessed with perfection, but because trust is fragile. And when life is close-knit, trust is everything. The quickest way to ruin your name? Breaking your word. In that world, a promise wasn't a suggestion. A handshake wasn't just a greeting. If you agreed to help bring in a harvest, you showed up. If you said you'd meet someone at noon, you were there. Maybe 5 minutes late at the absolute worst, not whenever you felt like it. And excuses? People remembered them. They didn't always argue with you on the spot. They just filed the story away. You can think of it like this. Trust is built by consistency, and it's destroyed by patterns. Even one break could sting, but repeated, "I'll do it tomorrow" moments quietly teach people that your yes might not mean anything. So when you broke your word, you didn't just fail one person. You damaged the shared system that kept the town running. Another fast route to losing respect: refusing a neighbor in need. Picture a barn that catches fire after a storm, or a roof that gives way in high winds. In older America, people didn't wait for someone else to step in. They showed up. If you didn't help, it wasn't always because you didn't care. Sometimes it was because you were busy, or tired, or dealing with your own worries. But in a small town, people noticed who came and who stayed home, pretending not to notice. That kind of refusal didn't just make you look selfish, it made you look unreliable. If you wouldn't help when it cost you something, then people started thinking, what about when it costs them? Communities, in that older view, survived because people looked after one another. When you stopped doing your part, you weren't just neglecting a neighbor, you were weakening the fabric that supported everyone. 3. Borrowing and not returning. The reputation tax you can't avoid. Let's talk about borrowed things. The ladder, the shovel, the truck. Back then, these weren't things you casually ordered online at midnight. You borrowed them because you needed them now, and because you expected to borrow someday yourself, you treated other people's tools with respect. So if you borrowed a ladder and took a month to bring it back, people didn't just think, oh, that's inconvenient. They thought, do they care about honesty? Do they care about time? Do they care about responsibility? And if it came back damaged, scratched up, missing a part, used like it belonged to you, that was worse. You weren't just careless. You were telling the town, without saying it, that their trust was optional. In that kind of setting, returning what you borrowed quickly and in good condition was almost like making a public promise: I can be counted on. 4. Unpaid debts. Leaving them behind followed you for years. Then there was the old rule about debts. A respected man paid what he owed. It didn't matter whether the amount was big or small. If you think about it, unpaid debts are more than financial. They're emotional. In a small town, every dollar you leave unpaid lands on someone's shoulders. Maybe they counted on your payment to keep their business open. Maybe they needed it to buy supplies. Maybe they took a chance on you. So when a debt went unpaid, the The story didn't end when the bill got sent. It continued, quietly, stubbornly, until you settled it. And once people believed you were the type who didn't pay, it could follow you for years. Your word might not even be enough to repair it at first. People would watch. They'd wait to see if you meant it. 5. Gossip. Not just talking, but breaking a trust. Not all harm came from money or labor. Gossip could damage a reputation just as effectively. Talking about another family's troubles behind their backs was considered a sign of poor character. In that older mindset, a trustworthy man kept private matters private. You might not have been doing anything illegal. You might not have even meant to cause damage. But if you repeated what you heard, people could start to feel unsafe around you. Because if you could share something sensitive once, you might share it again. And in a world built on community trust, unsafe is a reputation you don't want. Laziness. Avoiding responsibility usually shows up sooner or later. It's one thing to be having a hard week. It's another to be known as the person who always dodges work. Hard work was admired across different jobs: farmers, mechanics, shopkeepers, laborers. The admiration wasn't about status. In old America, people expected that work wasn't just how you earned money, it was how you proved you had a backbone. A man known for avoiding responsibility often found that his neighbors didn't trust him with responsibilities. And once you're seen as unreliable, everything becomes harder. People hesitate to hire you, lend to you, or even include you in community plans. So laziness wasn't just a personal flaw, it had social consequences. Hospitality mattered. Offering a seat, a cup of coffee, a warm welcome, these weren't small gestures in that old system. They reflected on you, but also on your family. 7. Treating guests badly. Hospitality wasn't optional. A guest could be a neighbor, a traveler passing through, someone who needed kindness more than anything else. The town watched how you treated people who couldn't repay you immediately. If you acted rude, stingy, or impatient, your reputation took a hit. Because hospitality wasn't about performance, it was about decency. And in tight communities, decency is currency. Boasting, letting actions speak, was the safer route. Old America also frowned on unnecessary boasting. If you constantly talked about money you had, success you achieved, or possessions you owned, people often stopped believing you. Not because they were jealous, but because bragging can sound like you're trying to replace character with noise. A respected man let his actions do the talking. You can see the difference if you think about how people behave when they're actually proud. Pride with substance looks like steady effort, not loud claims. Pride without substance sounds like you need everyone to notice you. So when boasting showed up, people might interpret it as insecurity. And insecurity doesn't build trust, it drains it. Dishonesty in business. Small frauds can erase a lifetime. Let's get practical for a minute. Business fraud doesn't always look dramatic. It can be subtle. A dishonest wait at the market, a false promise in a deal, a hidden defect in a sale. Maybe it's a little more flour than you should have taken. Maybe it's, oops, that wasn't included, after you already agreed. Maybe it's selling something that looks fine until you notice the problem later. In a modern setting, you might assume a scam stays private if the paperwork is messy. But in older towns, word travels. People talk to each other. They notice patterns. They compare stories. And once dishonesty enters your name, you don't just lose customers, you lose credibility. In that kind of world, honesty wasn't only a moral virtue, it was an economic survival strategy. Neglecting family. Losing respect starts at home. There was another warning many fathers passed down. Don't neglect your family. Providing for them. Protecting them. Keeping promises at home. A man could be friendly in public and still lose respect quickly if he failed his family, because the community didn't see family life as separate from character. They saw it as the testing ground. If you couldn't be trusted with the people you lived with, What did people believe about your commitments to anyone else? So family responsibilities were treated as a foundation, and if the foundation cracked, your reputation couldn't hold for long. Admitting when you're wrong, a strong character move. Here's a belief that surprises many people today. A respected man admitted when he was wrong. Making mistakes was expected. That part mattered. Nobody was supposed to be perfect because everyone is human and life is messy. But pride was a different issue. Refusing to admit a mistake, refusing to correct it, refusing to own it, was often seen as more damaging than the original error. Pride doesn't just delay repair, it tells people that you don't respect truth. So the strong thing wasn't never messing up. The strong thing was handling your mistake in a way that preserved trust. You can think of it as repair work. Saying, "I messed up," isn't weakness, it's maintenance. Drunkenness and losing control. Social drinking had limits. Social drinking was common in many places, but that didn't mean uncontrolled behavior was tolerated. A man who regularly lost control of himself could quickly lose confidence, not only because he might cause trouble, but because his predictability disappeared. Neighbors could tolerate a lot, but they couldn't plan life around chaos. When someone becomes unpredictable, people protect themselves by stepping back. And losing respect wasn't just a reaction to the alcohol itself. It was a response to what that alcohol did to your judgment, your temper, and your reliability. Losing your temper in public. Arguments happen, but control matters. Disagreements happen in every community. You can expect arguments sometimes. People are individuals with different opinions, different stress levels, and different limits. But there was a difference between having a disagreement and exploding in public. Old America admired those who could remain calm under pressure, not because they never felt anger, but because they didn't let anger drive the steering wheel. If you shouted, humiliated people, or threatened others, your reputation could take a lasting hit. People might start fearing interactions with you instead of trusting them. And trust, again, is the whole system. Honesty in small, quiet moments. The stuff nobody claps for. Maybe the strongest belief involved honesty that didn't come with an audience. Returning a lost wallet. Admitting an error. Keeping a confidence. Doing the right thing when nobody was watching. These weren't big hero moments designed to go viral. They were everyday choices, quiet actions that didn't benefit you immediately. Yet communities believed these choices revealed true character. Because if you only do the right thing when you expect credit, that's not character, that's strategy. Old America seemed to value character that holds up when there's no stage and no applause. In a tight town, those quiet actions could become known anyway, not always instantly, but eventually. The pattern of who you were showed itself. So when you zoom out, you can see the pattern clearly. A good reputation wasn't treated as luck. It was treated as something you built little by little. A promise kept, a debt paid, a neighbor helped, a borrowed tool returned, a kind word offered. Those actions might look small on their own, but in a community, small actions connect into a larger story, and that story is what people rely on. Trust is like a road. One plank doesn't make it solid, but hundreds of planks make it usable. Every consistent behavior adds stability. And just like a good reputation could be built through hundreds of small actions, it could also be destroyed by hundreds of small choices going the other way. The pattern might begin with something you tell yourself is harmless. I'll pay back later. It's okay if I'm late. No one will notice I didn't show up. I forgot to return the truck. It's just a rumor. Everyone's talking. At first, you might think you're getting away with it. But slowly, your story changes. People stop assuming your word is solid. They stop expecting you to show up. They stop trusting your version of events. And once people stop trusting you, repairing your reputation becomes slow work. Even when you try to fix things, the town remembers how long it took you to fail before it sees you succeed.
So why older generations guarded their good name so carefully? So why did older generations act like reputation was so serious? Because they believed a man's greatest legacy was not the money he left behind. Money can disappear through bad luck, illness, bad markets, or plain misfortune. Land can be sold, businesses can fail. Even hard work doesn't guarantee safety.
But trust, earned trust, could last. Trust is the thing that makes opportunities possible. People hire you, people lend to you, people include you, people speak well of you. And it's also the thing that keeps you from becoming isolated when life gets hard.
If you lose your reputation, you don't just lose respect. You lose options. You lose the benefit of the doubt. You lose the safety net of community.
Bringing it home, what this means for you now. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but this is the past. People don't run their lives like that anymore. Maybe not in the same way, but the core idea still holds, and it's easy to test in your own life.
If someone consistently breaks their word, you don't stop noticing. You eventually change how you act around them. If someone refuses to help when help is needed, you remember that. If someone borrows and doesn't return, you start protecting yourself. If someone lies in small ways, you stop believing them when it matters.
And if someone is dishonest in business or careless with trust, you don't have to be old-fashioned to understand why that changes everything. In other words, reputation still works like reputation always worked. The details might be different, but the math is the same.
Trust built over time. Trust lost through patterns. Recovery requires more than a single apology. It requires consistent proof.
A simple takeaway you can actually use. If you want a clear mental checklist, think of the values behind all those old rules. Keep your word, even when it's inconvenient. Show up for other people when you can. Treat borrowed things with respect and return them fast. Pay your debts, not someday, when you promised. Guard other people's privacy. Don't turn conversations into harm. Work like your effort matters, because it does. Welcome guests with kindness, not annoyance. Let your actions speak louder than your claims. Be honest in business, even if it would be easier to stretch the truth. Take your family responsibilities seriously. Admit mistakes and fix them without pride getting in the way. Don't let alcohol or anger steal your reliability. Do the right thing quietly, not only when someone's watching. That's the heart of it. Character shows up in the small decisions you repeat. So when you look back at that older America, the point isn't to romanticize everything as perfect. People still argued, families still struggled, towns still had their share of unfairness and gossip that didn't help anyone. But many people lived by a shared understanding. Trust is your most valuable long-term asset, and you build it the same way you build anything real, through steady choices. A promise kept, a debt paid, a neighbor helped, a borrowed tool returned, a kind word offered. And if you're careful, those choices don't just make you look good for a day. They shape how people treat you for years. Because in the end, your greatest legacy might not be the money you leave behind. It's the trust you earn from the people who know you best.